Now, in a stunning legal twist, President Emmerson Mnangagwa's attempt to retire Lieutenant General Anselm Namo Sanyatwe as Zimbabwe National Army Commander and reassign him as Minister of Sports, Recreation, Arts and Culture has been declared null and void under Zimbabwean law. Legal experts assert that Sanyatwe remains the lawful army chief, and if Mnangagwa fails to reverse his actions within 24 hours, he risks constitutional overreach that could unravel his presidency. The controversy erupted after Mnangagwa issued a directive with immediate effect claiming to retire Sanyatwe and appoint him to the civilian cabinet post. However, a detailed analysis by the ZimI editorial team reveals multiple breaches of the Constitution of Zimbabwe and Defense Act, rendering the move legally unenforceable. Constitutional breaches. Under Section 216, Part 2, the President must act within constitutional and legal bounds when commanding the defense forces. Mnangagwa's failure to notify Parliament or gazette a replacement for Sanyatwe violates this mandate. Section 208, Part 2 further prohibits serving officers from taking partisan roles, meaning Sanyatwe, still an active general, cannot legally join cabinet. Additionally, Section 104, Part 3 and Section 340, Part 1 restricts ministerial appointments to those fully disengaged from security roles, a process Mnangagwa has not completed. Defense Act breached. The Defense Act, Chapter 11, Part 2, Section 15, Part 1 and 3 mandates parliamentary notification and formal handover before any retirement takes effect. No such steps have been recorded, leaving Sanyatwe as the de jure ZNA commander. Legal precedents like the 1998 Mugabe versus Commander of the Air Force case and the 2018 Yamande versus Public Service Commission ruling reinforce that procedural compliance is non-negotiable and dual roles are constitutionally invalid. Zimbabwe President Emmerson Mnangagwa's misstep and attack on sovereignty. Critics argue Mnangagwa's unilateral action threatens Zimbabwe's constitution, security, and sovereignty. By bypassing due process, the move risks destabilizing the military hierarchy at a time of heightened political tensions, including an impending uprising called by war veteran Blessed Geza on March 31. The ZimI team warns that this assault on the law could provoke insubordination or litigation, exposing deep fractures in the security sector. Then, the 24-hour clock ticks. What is this 24-hour ultimatum about? Legal analysts conclude that Sanyatwe's purported retirement and reassignment are null and void ab initio, meaning he remains the army commander until proper procedures are followed. If Mnangagwa does not retract his statement and comply with the law by March 27, 2025, experts predict a cascade of consequences from military backlash to a constitutional crisis. If ED misbehaves, he is out. One source quipped, underscoring the stakes as Zimbabwe braces for Geza's planned protests. An internal ZANU-PF infighting escalates. Mnangagwa's grip on power faces a critical test. The nation watches to see if the president will back down or double down within the next 24 hours. Big up to everybody who's watching us live right about now. We're seeing various posts on x.com. We're seeing various responses to this from a lot of Zimbabweans talking about this that is happening, fellow Zimbabweans. What happens next is the big question. What happens next? Big up to Sharon Kurenga. Says at this time Mnangagwa agarra nanja. Emerson Romai says atika madaka uyo. Anonya. Alex Chiropa says pakaipa vikinkani. Hello. What's up? What's happening? Right. Big up to everybody who's watching us live right about now. Then we are seeing a video that is making rounds all over social media. This is a video of at the Zimbabwe Parliament, Zimbabwe State House with a lot of security guys. We see Vice President Chiwenga arriving at Zimbabwe State House there. Yeah, massive security there. Yay. Now, all this security, is this some kind of sending a message? Yay. Even the Minister of Defense there has to wait for her to access VP Chiwenga.
kuwane. Unotanga waremekedza vamugabe wabereka vamugabe ndokuti ugare pano paVIP. Unotanga wabereka vamugabe ndokuti upinde muVIP umo. Unotanga wabereka vamugabe ndokuti upinde mupolitibiro, ndokuti upinde mucabinet, ndokuti upinde muconference yeZANU-PF. Usina vamugabe hapana nokucheuka, unoitwa sejongi. So amamugabe nyaya yekuperepera ndepekuti zvamakataura amainzi
Your Excellency 2017 muchipinda imi mucharopinda Your Excellency makati the voice of the people is the voice of God. Ndobva takuteererai muchitaura zvimwe chete izvozvo. Tikaziva kuti imi muri kuti zvido zvevanhu ndo zvinoitwa nomunhu wese akasikwa kusanganisira nemi. Saka taona zvadaro Excellency makaisa vision 2030. Asi imi munogona kufunga Excellency kuti ndimi makaisa. Ndiye akakuratidzai kuti pa 30 muyuthi mwene pera musi wa 15 September muchilonja mutapa youth housing scheme. Tikaziva kuti saka ichokwadi kuti imi Excellency munyika.
Apologies there. My network is playing up. Big up to everybody who's watching us live right now. Those watching us live, do write your comments in the top chat or in the super chat. That's how I can get to see your names, so I can give you my shout out.
Ndobva takuteererai muchitaura zvimwe chete izvozvo. Tikaziva kuti imi muri kuti zvido zvevanhu ndo zvinoitwa nomunhu wese akasikwa kusanganisira nemi. Saka taona zvadaro Excellency makaisa vision 2030. Asi imi munogona kuti makaisa asi hamusi imi ndimwari wakaisa mamuri. Ndiye akakuratidzai kuti patosvika 2030 muyuthi mumwe nemumwe anenge ave landlord. Takakuonai gore rakapera musi wa 15 September muchilonja munhu mutapa youth housing scheme. Tikaziva kuti saka ichokwadi kuti imi Excellency ndimi Joshua wenguva yemunyika yeZimbabwe. Akanzi na
unotanga watora pana vamugabe woku anointment ochizoenda kuwana. Unotanga waredza vamugabe wabereka vamugabe ndokuti ugare pano paVIP. Unotanga wabereka vamugabe ndokuti upinde muVIP umo. Unotanga wabereka vamugabe ndokuti upinde.
Now, yesterday, late around 7-8 p.m., I was in Harare CBD, and I came across these vehicles moving around in Harare CBD. Now, we're seeing here, it's a poster by Hopo Chingono, also posting images of these police trucks and vans in Harare CBD. And what does he write about this? What does he write about this? I'm just going to take a quick reader on what he writes on this. He writes, when real opposition to Mnangagwa's rule steps up, you can see it by the regime's irrational and disproportionate responses as shown in these pictures taken in Harare. You also see it through the angry response from the regime through its Twitter and social media trolls. Those who are ordered to form their own opposition outfits will suddenly be attacked by the very same people who suggested they do exactly what is happening. When new ideas to fight Mnangagwa's corrupt rule emerge, you can tell by the insults from bogus Mnangagwa puppets in the opposition who want things to remain as they are, so they keep receiving their sell-out tip ends. Zimbabwe needs a united fight against the 2030 constitutional violation agenda. Those unwilling to be part of that collective effort should simply shut up, stay at home, and watch those who are taking action. Only those privately working for the regime would oppose this. There is no action on the ground. Opposition action makes one a real sellout working for Mnangagwa. Whether these efforts succeed or not does not matter. What matters is that some Zimbabweans have realized that merely sitting and quitting is no longer an option. When citizens are walking on top of sewage, you have to be mentally ill or on Mnangagwa's payroll to prefer an option that perpetuates today's suffering of 95% unemployment, the highest inflation in the world, 2,500 women dying while giving birth, and the total collapse of healthcare system, no clean drinking water. Yay, that will be posted there by Wopo Chingono. Then we see also the Daily Maverick is now talking about what is happening in Zimbabwe. A lot of international press are talking about the Zimbabwe situation. We see here the Daily Maverick write this headline: looming Zimbabwe uprising echoes overthrow of Mugabe as calls mount to oust Zimbabwe President Emmerson Mnangagwa. Zimbabwe President Emmerson Mnangagwa, who slid into power in 2017 after a military coup gave Robert Mugabe the boot. 37 years of iron-fisted rule. Talk about overstaying your welcome. Is now facing a remix of that same drama. This time, it is Deputy Constantino Chiwenga, a guy who basically handed Mnangagwa the throne on a tank, leading the charge with some salty ex-freedom fighters. They are calling for an uprising on March 31 because apparently Mnangagwa has been running the country like a family business, corruption, nepotism, and looting the national cake, which sounds delicious but probably just gold and taxpayers' cash. Mnangagwa promised the reforms to fix Zimbabwe's economic nosedive, but war vets say he has delivered more cryonism than a reality TV show reunion. His loyalists want him to stay past 2028, despite the constitution saying, nah brah, 2 terms is the maximum. Mnangagwa at 82 swears he's a constitutionalist, which is rich coming from a guy who got job via tank, not ballot. Enter Blessed Rune Sugeza, a war vet, with a flair for the dramatic. This guy has been expelled from the ruling ZANU-PF party for feigning factionalism. Now he is in hiding, popping up on social media in military gear like a budget action movie star. He is accusing Mnangagwa of everything, from poisoning Chiwenga to handing out tenders like candy to his kids. Geza rallying the troops, literally a literal and fugitive for Mnangagwa too. GTFO claiming Chiwenga, the people's champ. The army might even roll out tanks again because nothing says democracy like heavy artillery. Meanwhile, Mnangagwa is cracking down on dissent. A journalist, Blessed Mushanga, got nabbed for airing Geza's rants, denied bail twice because apparently free speech is a chaos-causing superpower. The police are like, protest. What protest? While Mnangagwa youth wing vows to quash any uprising like it's a game of whack-a-mole. Geza, undeterred, is promising a nationwide uprising, not a demonstration, mind you. Way too classy for that. Warning that cops to keep their hands off his people. Oh, and the opposition, they are flirting with the chaos but not committing. Nelson Chamisa dropping a vague inspirational quotes while Tendai BT is pushing for a transitional government because Zimbabwe's economy is so wrecked. It needs time out before the next election. Foreign countries like Australia are telling their citizens maybe skip the Zimbabwe vacation this year. A big up to everybody who was watching us live. And KL says Idimujeo Nesugananda Zaki. Dumisan SLN says good afternoon. Team and doctor, good afternoon. How are you doing? I hope you're blessed. You're having a good time there. Thank you for watching TV7 Live. Taurai Nyati, Dumi Pray Mo, Asangara, Itai Tombo, Hundu Wan Munyamaropo, Abraham, Mutotera, Shamiso Chinotimba, Taurai Nyati, Duncan Piri, Runako Trisha, Norman Maru, Freedom Fighter, Tatenda Machinery, Pizizai Sibamba, David Fabiano, everybody who was watching us live right about now. Enough respect to everybody. Yeah, this is what we are seeing happening in the nation of Zimbabwe. Yes, so this is all coming from an analysis that is made on the Zim Eye. There, it is echoing a lot of analyses that are happening on X.com. Remember, before we see this Sanyatwe pigeon, it would have been predicted on social media. It would have been predicted on social media. So we see this poster by Zim I says breaking, Sanyatwe remains army commander by law. If ED misbehaves, he is out 24 hours from now. Why Mnangagwa with immediate effect statement is an attack of both the constitution of Zimbabwe and the country's sovereignty and its people. Then we see they write a whole lot of things there. All right, so I think we're just going to read this one before we sign out. So this is a post by Zim I breaking, Sanyatwe remains army commander by law, and if ED misbehaves, he's out within 24 hours from now. Legal analysis by the editorial team why Mnangagwa's demotion of General Sanyatwe is now in void under Zimbabwe law. Number 2, why Mnangagwa is with immediate effect statement is an attack of both the constitution of Zimbabwe, the law, the country's sovereignty, its security, and the people of Zimbabwe. So we see here they quote the constitution of Zimbabwe. What do they say? What exactly do they quote? Let me just read it quickly. Keep your comments coming. All right, they write violation of the constitution of Zimbabwe, section 26 part 2, command of the defense forces. Then they quote, the president must act in accordance with this constitution and the law in exercising command over defense forces. This clause requires that all presidential actions relating to military command, including retirements, follow both constitutional procedure and the Defense Act. Sanyatwe's removal made without an official parliamentary notification or replacement gazetted fails this test. Section 208, political neutrality of security services. Neither the security services nor any of their members may, in the exercise of their function, act in partisan manner, further the interests of any political party, or cause the prejudice the lawful interests of any political case. Serving officers cannot be appointed to cabinet unless fully retired until parliament is notified and a successor has assumed office. Sanyatwe remains serving officer, rendering his ministerial appointment unconstitutional. A ministerial appointment is not necessarily partisan. It's actually non-partisan. Section 104 Part 3, appointment of ministers. Ministers and deputy ministers are appointed from among senators or members of the National Assembly, but up to 5 chosen for their professional skills and competence may be appointed from outside parliament. Maybe that's why he appoints Sanyatwe, since Kirsty Coventry, the one he would be replacing, is not a member of parliament or a senator, would be part of those 5 chosen for their professional skills or competency. Then section 341, president's powers of appointment. The power to appoint a person or hold an act in any public office include the power to suspend or remove a person from office subject to this constitution. The phrase subject to this constitution is critical. It reaffirms that president must follow all constitutional checks, including due process or military retirements. For military retirements, Mnangagwa's failure to complete the processes invalidates the appointment. Defense Act Chapter 11 Part 2, non-compliance, Section 15(1) and 3, notification to Parliament and handover. A member of the defense forces shall not be retired, discharged, or dismissed unless proper authority notifies the Parliament. We're seeing it there as they quote directly. And such retirement shall take effect only upon confirmation of handover by successor. No record exists of parliamentary notice or handover. Until these are completed, Sanyatwe remains commander of the Zimbabwe National Army, and his new ministerial post is legally void. Supporting case law examples: Mugabe versus commander of the Air Forces and others, 1998. The court held that no military officer may assume a political position unless their service is lawfully and fully terminated, gazetted. Nyamande and Anna V, chairperson of the Public Service Commission, established that procedural fairness and statutory compliance are prerequisite for any lawful dismissal. Kereke versus Minister of Finance, 2016, confirmed that one cannot hold 2 incompatible offices simultaneously. Such duality invalidates both roles under constitutional scrutiny. So we are saying all this coming from the ZimI, a whole lot of research there. Anyways, I'm just going to read some of the comments before I sign out. David Fabiano says ED must go, no return. Father Mjengwa says ED must go. Shami Sechino Timba, he must just go. Everybody's saying just go. I'm watching and enjoying at the same time. Perpetual Makoko Tatenda Mchineripi Zidai Sibamba says Ngazi and Naye Sanyatwe Wacho God Seriwe freedom fighter Mnangagwa must just go. Alright, Undu one Munyamaropo Asangara, New Zimbabwe is the one way. Alright, Ephraim Piri says these are signs of a man in panic. What is the case of this nation gloating Kiwane? Vikinkane says your presentation has improved. Keep up the good work. Keep on improving. Thank you very much for that positive feedback. It is the positive feedback that gives me energy to keep on improving. And thank you very much for taking note of that one. Thank you very much for the appreciation, and may God bless you for that one. Kletos Mutambara says Guy and Dumisan LN. All right, guys. That was it for now. Enough respect to everybody who was watching us live. Thank you, guys, for watching TV7 Live. May the good Lord bless you. And remember to be good wherever we are. Be the mouth of God and be the hand of God. Always do good. For what good is being good for if it is not for being good? Is it worth being called good if it is not through works? Remember, being good is through our actions. It is through what we do. May the good Lord bless you. Dr. Clarence is the name. Big up to Sylvester Makato, Ephraim Piri, Itai Tobo, Viking Kani, Caroline Bakunye, Mike Magona, Francis Chimombe. TV7 Live is the channel, broadcasting live and direct from Zimbabwe, Africa. As always, thank you for watching, and I'm out. Itai Tombo says, thank you, God will bless Zimbabwe. Patmos Chineka. Thank you very much to Airport Musonza, Patmos Chineka, Bongane Mabena, Itai Tombo, everybody who was watching us live. Let's lift the Zimbabwe flag on high. Thank you very much for those positive comments. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I am humbled. Lenmo Manyara says, Ndanonoka Opinda. You can rewind the live broadcast. I think there is a rewind. You can rewind the timeline. I'm about signing out. I was just reading some of the comments remaining. Thank you very much, my brother there.